All right. So this is Missy Sandeman, and we're just going to say it. You are 73 years old. Wow. Right? I mean, I've met you before, and we've done kind of some mini interview, or just one. And I was just when I met you at your B&B for the first time. What was it, like a month ago? It
Mm,
was
couple months ago, I think,
couple
but
months ago,
anyway,
and
yeah.
I was just floored. I was just like, "Oh my god, I gotta interview this lady. She's 73. She's the perfect role model for the seniors that I work with and the rest of the planet, honestly." And so, anyway, I just wanna say early out of the gate, thank you for just agreeing to this interview because it's gonna be a great one. So, you
Yeah.
all sit tight because we have some wonderful topics that we're gonna hit on. Because not only is she a pro bodybuilder, as you can see, right? Give us some biceps. Yeah. But you're also a personal trainer, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're a wife and a mother and all these wonderful things too. And I'm
Great
sure,
grandmother.
oh, what a great grandma. So that's amazing. Yeah. So the really cool thing is just what was it last week? We were
Yes.
in
Florida.
Florida,
Mhm.
and it was called the Florida Pro,
Yes.
and it was 70 and older.
Well, that was my class. They had many classes there, but my class was I did 60 plus and 70 plus. And it was the first 70 plus uh class that they've offered ever. So, and figure, and I do the figure class, the competition. And it was so exciting. I couldn't
Well,
pass it.
first place.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
First place in the 70, second in the 60.
So that was the Chicago Pro this year
No,
also.
that was the Chicago Pro. First, I was first in the 60 and up.
And then you were fifth in the 50 and up?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the Oklahoma Pro.
Yes. And I was first in that one too. These are pro bodybuilding contests that are from like the Olympians come and try to make the Olympia because you have to win a contest, a pro contest, to be invited to the Olympia. And that's the girls that are in these contests. I mean, it's amazing the development of muscle. It just floors me. I mean, if I were younger, I'd probably be developing more muscle, but I'm at an age where I'm not willing to give up my health to do that. So
I love it.
that's what a lot of them do.
Dive into that health, right? The topic, because that's what you do. You work with seniors, you work with a lot of people old 50 and up, even way into like 70s, 80s. And so I want to hear from you. You're a teacher, you're a trainer, you're a cheerleader, you're, the role model, right? For all of us. So we're going to talk about that. But I just want the audience to see behind you, we've got a trophy. We got you're in your gym, right? Missy's boot camp, is that right?
Missy's Body Shop.
I love it.
My trophy. Can you see my trophy?
I
Yeah, that's the one I just won last week. It was so big.
that's
It
and
was
I was gonna ask you if it was heavy, but it's not heavy for you, not at all. And I've seen all like the audience can't see it, but I've been in your gym, so I've seen all the trophies on the other wall. So
yeah, they're right here.
yeah,
They're and those and yeah. I don't do this for the trophies. And I
I
really the stage part of it is not my favorite, but the goal is what I do it for and to stay in shape and to just experience that whole scene. It's amazing. This is where I live. This is what I love is the workout, the training.
I love that. Let's talk about your passion because that's why you're here and that's why I'm here in this space. And so and for people who are listening, it's all about you and we're going to hit some topics that it's going to resonate with you, right? And so Missy, let's start with the first question, okay? So what should people focus on when it comes to exercise as they age?
Well, I think that the main thing, just feeling good about yourself, and because you'll start feeling good about yourself right away. Strength training, being strong, the 60, 50 and up, my clients at that age gain that strength. It's confidence. It's movement. They can get up off the floor better, or some people can't even get up off the ground at all. That's why I'm in this industry, is because I know the need for it, and I've known it for a long time. So, and now it's like people are starting to get it,
Yeah.
and it's great.
People are realizing that it is all about exercise and it is longevity. It's the holy grail. But yeah,
It's your medicine.
it's not for just our big muscles, right?
No.
But it's for also, like you said, you mentioned confidence. It's inside. It's that safety, that security, knowing they can get themselves out of unsafe situations, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
so you just never
Yeah,
know where you're going to be. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time, but by being strong, it comes with confidence. So I love that. Yeah.
yeah,
So, and when I work with patients, I ask these questions and I connect them to their health and life goals. So when you're stronger and you're maintaining that muscle mass as you age, because we know it goes down every year after the age of 50 by 1 to 2%.
right.
If you're sedentary, it's going to go even rapid, right? So it could be 3% or more every year that you're declining, you're losing that muscle mass. And so it adds up every year. But we want to know where people, I'm sure you asked this, what is your goal? Where do you want it? Because you probably have the athlete that wants to run a marathon, or maybe someone that wants to be a bodybuilder builder like you, or maybe just a grandmother that wants to be able to just lift up her suitcase and put it
And
in the
put it
overhead
over that.
bin.
Yes. That's so funny that you say that, because on the airplane coming back, I was watching these women, and, "Oh, thank you. That would be great if you could put it up there." And, they're kind of looking around like they're embarrassed. And then there's some that are, "Whoa, are she gonna get it up there?" But darn it, she did it, and she got it over her head. And I'm thinking, "Does she work out? Is she, doing overhead presses?" Or, I mean, my brain always works, and, you know well, good for you, and you need to get in the gym, and,
I love
and
it. I love it.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you your next question. So, how much exercise do we actually need to see benefits?
Well, when my clients come in, I ask them what their goal is,
Mhm.
that's important to know, and I kinda try to read them, because a lot of them are afraid, and they're afraid to make it. A funny thing that they say to me is, "Now, I don't wanna get bulky. I don't wanna get big
Because they're looking
muscles."
at you like, I
I mean, do you know how much time I spend in the gym? 4 hours a day. So, no, you will not be getting this, I promise you. And so I'd say 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise, meaning walking, brisk walking, biking, rowing machine. That's a great way to get the movement, everything moving.
and aerobic. That's
Aerobic, yeah, and I use TRX, which you can get aerobics with that by just doing simple little hops, but you're assisted with doing these, so you're not crashing down on the ground doing jumping squats or anything. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. It's not just kettlebells,
yeah.
swing. It's
And
yeah, and then biking, a stationary bike, if you have a treadmill at home, there's lots of great way. Outdoors is best, in my
yeah,
opinion. Vitamin D,
yeah.
you know.
Earthing. Yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
do you say like how many minutes do you think we should do for
Strength.
for strength?
I'd say anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. That's about right. But I'd say more like 40 minutes, because I warm them up for 10 minutes and then cool them down for 10 minutes. And warming up means just getting the mobility. A lot of times they come in and they'll go, my knee kind of hurts today. And I'll go, okay, we'll watch it. Let's just slowly
Give
get
us an
warmed up
example.
here.
What would you do for that particular person that has some knee pain and they need to warm up? What kind of warm
Yeah,
up?
I would get the TRX and I would have them gently do some bend over, like reaching out, pressing their hips back, not hardly bending their knees at all. And then I'd get them to get a wider squat with their toes straight forward and just come down very easily and see how it's working. Now, it depends on the person. Have people that come in that I know very well, that I know that knee is going to warm up. And I know the back is going to warm up because they always have a little knee pain and a little back pain. They always do when they come in because they just got out of bed, most of them. It's, 7:30, 8:30 out. I watch my clients very carefully. I don't ever give them more than they can chew. I think it's important to watch it and for them to listen to their bodies, but they can push it a little bit further because some people just don't want to push it at all, and you're
Yeah,
not getting any benefit that
because they're
way.
scared. Because they're scared,
Yeah,
and
they're
you're
scared,
there to be that reassurance for them.
to be honest. I'll even talk to their PTs, and I've even been known to go over and see what they're doing before they're released from physical therapy to me. Some of them have had like multiple, like one knee done and then the other knee done and their shoulder done. And so I'm pretty well versed in how to be gentle and how to slowly but surely get them their strength back up. And I know it makes them feel good. I'm very conscious of how they're moving. I look at their posture when they come in, if they're bent over, if they're limping,
Yeah.
I see it all. And then I go accordingly. I'm not,
Well, let's also add to that. I mean, the American Heart Association wants us all to do 150 minutes of aerobic activity and, of course, moderate, and then maybe 75 minutes a week of the really vigorous intensity, spreading it out, right? How many days a week should we be doing strength training,
two
and
to
for how
three.
long?
2 to 3. And
Okay.
I do like today, for instance, I had my 88-year-old man he's never worked out in his life. And his wife is a hiker and you'd love her. Anyway, he's failing. And
Mm,
it's not because he's 88. I mean, he's a boat guy, so he's in and out of boat. Functionally, he did a lot of movement in his life, but he never did any like resistance training per se.
yeah.
He's just starting now.
Wow.
I mean, I am so excited to work with him. He's hard. It's not easy. It's scary, and has issues. He's got bladder cancer. They
Mm,
just found a nodule on his lung, but he's back in here. He was in here today.
he's
He
not giving
found
up.
out Monday. It makes me almost cry. That's how I care about my clients. You
Uh,
have,
yeah, you have to, and that's me too. I love
I know
it's my
you.
passion, and you and I, we talked about it earlier, we're both healers, you know,
Yes.
and in some capacity we're healers. And so, and people are drawn to that. And ultimately we all want to be connected to our practitioner or trainer, right? We want to have that heart to heart connection. But it's so cool that you can have it in the gym too.
I do sometimes need that socializations and different equipment. So I do go to the gym. But another thing I do too with my clients that I have that I know well, I'll say to them if they're hurting and they go, "Oh no, I can work through that." I can tell whether they should. I've said, "You're going home and going to bed," or I want you to go home. I want you to promise me that you're going to call your doctor and get an appointment to have that knee looked at or that shoulder, because you can tell, so I do that. I don't just push people through. I'm actually pretty easy, but I get the job done.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you some more questions. Which muscle groups are most important as we age?
I think the glutes, the big muscles, the
Yeah,
biggest muscles, the
that
glutes, the hamstrings, the abdominal muscles.
That's a core. Yep.
Yeah, the deeper core muscles. The quads are really important, I
Yeah.
think. And calves are overlooked too, but I think this is the most important.
And just kind of the common activities of daily life, just by carrying the groceries,
Yeah.
right? Or we're lifting up your grandkids.
So you need
That
core, shoulders, and back. I touch all the muscles of the body. When somebody works out with me, especially if they're 2-day-a-weekers, I can do full body. I could actually do it on 3 days, but usually I have like legs, back, shoulders for my 3-day-a-week people, which is works out really well because I can really concentrate on that muscle group, which is great. And that's how I do it. So,
what are some tips that they could do at home, like right now,
okay,
to
do air squats. I tell people, I say, do you watch TV or do you watch movies? You know, TV, especially like the news or whatever. And I used to tell them commercials, you do
Mm,
20 air squats, or you can start with 10. And if you need to hold on to the couch while you're doing them, here's your TV, here's your couch, 20 air squats. You can do core. If you can get on the floor, get down and do some crunchies. Okay. And I have a TRX hanging from my my beams in my house, and so I use that. Like if I'm
oh, so while you're watching TV, you might be doing the TRX.
yeah, but I don't watch TV very much. I listen to it, and I'm mostly a podcast girl, on my Peloton in the morning. So,
Who are your podcasters that you like?
well, I love Rachel Maddow. Yes, I'm a liberal. Um, sorry. And then I like Huberman. I really do like him. He's great. And I've been listening to Tame Your Gremlin, and I forget who the author is of that, but it's how to get those yucky thoughts out of your head. They kind of take over. It's really good. And then there's a meditation with it. So I listen to that on my bike in the morning. Um, and
Does
then,
that help you get into the
oh, yeah.
we're gonna talk about that too. Let's just skip to that question because one of the questions is what about energy levels and brain health? How does training help? And so you shared with me earlier that you battled with depression. And so working out has pretty much
I mean, it comes and goes, but the minute I get down here and start working out, it, I don't know, it's anti anxiety medication. It really is.
fatigue,
Yeah.
anti-fatigue,
Fatigue, anxiety. Yeah.
neurotransmitters up, right? Your serotonin, your
Oh,
dopamine,
it's
right?
amazing what it does.
Yeah.
People don't believe me. And I think the weight training is the resistance, the weight bearing exercise. Walking is great, but I really truly believe that the weight bearing exercise is better for the brain. It works the mitochondria and it works on the brain. It helps
Slows
me.
down aging. It's all about longevity, right? And so it really helps with mitochondrial function.
Yes.
It literally can reverse markers of cardiovascular
Yeah.
aging. And we are as old as our arteries are.
Yeah.
So and we know that exercise gives all that nitric oxide, it boosts into our bloodstream, which is super protective for the vascular layer, the endothelial layer. So, well, let's go on and talk about joints because as we age, a lot of us just have joint pain. I did basketball and track when I was a kid and everything, and I end up with injuries.
Yeah.
So, and then as I get older, I'm like, crap, they're showing up now. So,
Right.
how do we, when we train, how do we protect our joints?
I think the first thing you have to look at is form and technique. When I go to a gym, I see people that are going to hurt themselves. You'd have to hire a trainer if you had not been to the gym before and you didn't know how to use the equipment because people go in there and they go, oh, that guy's doing this. And you can hurt yourself. So technique and form and, move with control, not thinking about what you're going to buy at the grocery store when you leave there, thinking about mind to muscle. That really works. Like, okay, I'm using my biceps and I'm using dumbbells and I'm thinking about that bicep contracting. It works so much better when you're thinking mind to muscle. I do it all the time, and I've had to learn to do it because your mind wanders, and you're going, oh, that's a cute outfit she has on over there, and you're not thinking about what you're doing, and it clearly takes away all that benefit that you're getting from what the exercise you're doing. So that's a big one.
I love it. I love it. One of the most important things, right, that we worry about is is it gonna hurt? Is it safe? Right? And so, by knowing that if we do a squat, we're not gonna injure our back if we do it the right way. And so having a personal trainer showing you how to do it the right way gives you confidence so that when you're by yourself, you can do these things. You can
Yes.
literally you can go once you have the knowledge, you can take it with you to the gym, any gym,
Right.
and just, "I got this." Right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's
Yeah, it's really important. The form and technique are huge.
yeah, well, good. Well, I think this segues more to bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, because we also know it helps. Hormones help with our joints. It helps with recovery. It literally is like also the holy grail by protecting us. And we know that hormone receptors like estrogen, testosterone, they're all over our body, our brains, our joints, our muscles, some of our organs, our bones, right? They are loaded with these estrogen receptors and testosterone. But so tell me about your experience with bioidentical hormones.
Well, when I was going through menopause, it was really taboo to take it, to
Right?
use it. My father died of a heart attack. I had cancer in my family, and I just chose not to. I thought, I'm okay. But I probably was one that really could have benefited by that for just brain health alone, and um I'm very fortunate to be as athletic as I am and have those goals because I think that saved me. Otherwise, I started menopause at 38. So I was very young.
Mhm.
And all these years, I had no hormone therapy at all until I met a doctor up here who's a homeopathic naturopath. And she has changed my life. I mean, it literally has helped with my sleep. I feel my skin is better. We live up here in Tahoe. It's very dry up here. I just use tons of lotion and stuff, but this has helped. And I feel better. I feel mentally clear than I did when I wasn't using it. It's only been like 3 months.
2 months, you've noticed all these changes.
Totally.
Wow. I thought,
Yeah. I mean, I have my saliva test
uh,
sitting up there because I just saw the doctor and she gave it to me. So it's sitting up there waiting for me to do it again to see what's changed.
and you're
Yeah.
just on the cream, by cream, right? You're not.
Yes. Well, suppository as well.
Okay. I gotta ask, how's your sex life?
It's changed. My husband's 82 and I'm 73, so it was kind of waning anyway, but he hasn't waned as much as I was because it was painful.
Yes, we
Yes.
all do when we hit perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah. This works. It makes me feel like a young girl again,
Everybody's talking about sex health, right? It's so important for the relationship, and I think a lot of women and men too, because I work with both, that first of all, it used to be that we don't it's taboo, you don't talk about these things, right? But now everybody's talking about it, right? And social
Yeah,
media
it's
that,
on every
let's take
commercial.
hormones so we can have sex until the day we die, right?
It's wonderful. It's just incredible.
That's fantastic. So
Yeah,
we can wrap it up. I know we could go on and on and on because
I know. I love
I
talking
love
with
this.
you.
But so give us some, words of wisdom. So, for like if you're 55 or 65 and you're listening to this, podcast and what would you say to that 55 or 65-year-old who is, shy and but just getting started, kind of like your 88-year-old? What would you say to them, motivate them to take that first step, dip their toes in the water?
I just say that, you're never too old because I hear a lot of people in their 50s, men and women. Oh, I've never done this. I'm too old. And you're never too old. You can build bone density is one of the most important things as a female and male. The gym, I know it's intimidating, but they do have small gyms. They have studios like mine that you can go in and have a one-on-one trainer. And if you can't afford that, go to TJ Maxx and buy some kettlebell and a couple dumbbells and some bands
Mhm.
and go on YouTube. Get a TRX. That's so gentle and kind in the beginning. It can be hard too, but it's an assisted way of training. Those are my, thoughts, and don't be afraid, because as you progress in your, fitness journey, you're just going to get more confidence and feel better about yourself, and who knows, maybe someday you'll go on stage. I tease my
Never
clients all the time. Come on,
know.
you could do this with me. And then they laugh. But anyway,
You never know.
it'll improve every aspect of your life. Believe me.
I believe you. I'm right there with you, sister.
This has
Well,
been great.
thanks again, Missy, for just being here and taking the time. And I love your passion, and I love that you're working with the older adult population, and that you're not only, again, are you the role model and the cheerleader, but you're just showing us how we can age. We can be 73 and we can look like you. Maybe not exactly like you, but it's possible. The human body can do this,
You'll
right?
see change
Yeah.
if you put out the effort. You will see change, and you will really feel it. I really believe that. So this is
Yay!
great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll do it again, and maybe we'll have a group, a Q&A. But yeah, so everybody stay tuned. We're gonna have more from Missy Sandeman. And again, thanks for being here.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Take
Okay.
care.
Bye.